makes
Thursday,
sense.
yeah.
Okay.
So I wasn't at any pre-events, but wow, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so a NorCal local.
Yeah, dude, Genesis, those whole 4 days just like took like my whole life away from me. I just sat in my room and ate food and watched that.
That was one of the best weekends of my life, man. You should have been there. You should go next year for sure.
Dude, I mean, if I'm an after school teacher, man, getting days off is not the easiest thing to do.
True. Winter break, though.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. I mean, like younger kids have a short winter break. So.
Yeah.
Dude, just quit your job, man.
Yeah, right. I'm just going to devote it all to Smash, dude. Like, who needs money?
Dude, that's the position I'm trying to get myself in.
Yeah.
But it's a tough road.
Absolutely, man. And speaking of tough roads, man, we got some tough matches coming up here, man. Dan, I mean, MJGs. I mean, this match is going to be insane here.
This is probably my most anticipated match after the winners finals we just saw, which honestly didn't really deliver the intensity I was hoping. MJK now like crushed them.
Yeah,
but that in itself was fan service for me too. Like that was hype. I love watching M2K. Just always have. He's so methodical. Just like he's a surgeon of the game. You know, every little incision is perfect, or else the patient's gonna die.
Yeah, and I just.
Well, he's trying to kill the patient anyway, but
true. And I just don't understand how you can just be that good off of multiple, iterations of the game. It's just so night and day to me. And speaking of night, man, we got Night and Dan here.
Night and almost day.
Yeah.
That's funny. I can't believe I never noticed that. We're as different as Night and Dan.
Right.
Okay.
And here right now on Battlefield for Game 1 and Losers Semi, man, I would never have guessed to see MJG and Zinoto in the Losers bracket. I mean, just the way that they played earlier yesterday, they were just on fire, man, just virtually untouchable. They were invincible, basically.
Yeah, but once they got to the upper parts of the bracket, that's when you start seeing the real players come out.
Absolutely, man. MJG touching the upper parts of those blast zones right there. Knight giving him the extra helping hand that he needs for that.
Yeah, shouts to helping hand, powering up your partner's moves.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, almost another super early Luma kill, and Knight doesn't even have rage. That's just all that base knockback, man. If you start the up air really high up. Oh!
Ooh, and tried to spot dodge the forward smash right off the platform. Now, that is one thing I definitely forgot about. Man, stages like this sometimes are really, really good for Villager as well, like this, like Duck Hunt, where you can just stand super high in the air and just drop off uncharged forward smash on people's heads.
Don't even have to have any worries in the world because you're not going to get punished. Unless the partner is, very aware and ready, trying to prevent that. And that's one thing that you really do have to do when you're fighting Villager in doubles. It's like, all right, let me interrupt him from doing all this crazy stuff.
Okay, so Zinoto did find his way back towards the stage. They're trying to do the, I believe it was the monkey flip there, but, I mean, he just ended up eating the up smash right there from Knight, just totally canceling all of that out. Good trade. I think that was trade in Knight's favor.
For sure. And still a pretty tight game here. Depends pretty much all on when Knight and Dan's stocks are going to get eliminated. Oh, and dropping a team combo that could have been big.
Now, the name of this game is, can Dan outlive MJG or can MJG outlive Dan? The last couple sets, we've seen Dan just live to just insane percent. I mean, literally 2 minutes, 3 minutes without losing a stock.
And interestingly enough, we actually saw them both lose their stocks first in this match.
Yeah.
And Dan somehow living a Diddy up smash at 150. I mean, that's some miraculous DI.
That it is.
That's like some change the game code to reduce the knockback values DI. Okay, gets the up smash follow-up. Dan almost there to keep it going. Zinoto definitely on the ropes, man. And MJG as well, now down to his last stock. First player to be in that situation here.
Absolutely, and I'm noticing that MJG's trying to stay away from Knight as much as possible. I mean, he knows that there's not really much he can do sometimes versus Rose. I mean, he could shoot a slingshot. I mean, she'll take it. He could shoot a Lloyd Rocket. I mean, he'll probably going to take it from him. I mean, he loses some of his pivotal approach options.
That gravitational pull, man, real big problem for the projectile-based characters.
Because then it forces you to approach, and I mean, have fun getting between her and Luma as, MJG's Villager.
And even without gravitational pull, Luma can just tank projectile hits head on. Makes it real tough, especially for Diddy, who throws the banana at that angle where Luma is just going to be right in the way.
Every time. Ooh, and a very strong backer right off that top platform. Dan now forcing down to his final stock here.
Yeah, super, super close game. Oh, can he complete the edge guard? No, MGG not able to seal the deal on Knight. Now that he's back, if he can take care of Zinoto, that's going to be probably the first big swing in Red Team's favor in a while.
Yeah. And Zinoto wants that kill as bad as possible right now. He is gunning for Knight here. 135%. Say, man, if you lose your stock first, that'll give me a breath of fresh air.
But Dan managing to stay avoiding damage, whereas MJG has gotten beaten up. Now that Zinoto's on his last stock, I'm liking the GGA boys' chance here. Even if NiTe does go out right now, they've still got a pretty considerable percent advantage. Oh, no. God! What percent was that? It was like just sub 50.
Insanely low. Mario stuff.
Man, Zinoto was the healthy one. I was expecting MJG to go out long before him. But, oh! Riding dirty right into Rosalina.
Oh, my goodness. You can't take that one from me. Okay, having a bit of an issue getting back on the stage here. Luma is just in his grill, applying a lot of shield pressure.
Yeah, that jab 1-2-3 is super safe with Luma. You can pretty much just keep doing that, and your opponent almost has to take the hit. Oh, riding dirty once again. I mean, right into Luma. That's so smart.
Yeah, I mean, if there's any character that I think could edge out a 2v1, it's Villager, but that's saying that, you know, Rosie's not in that 2v1 situation with you. So
it's a 1v3, man, when Luma's around. And that's only going to be a few more seconds now for NiTe. MJG really liking this ride the rocket strategy. I mean, if your opponent's shielding at the edge, it's a pretty solid answer. Though, I want to see Dan be ready for that and intercept him on the way. Oh, NiTe this time ready for it. Okay.
Absolutely. There wasn't really much he could do because I feel like, you know, if NiTe would have shielded it, Dan would have been there just for the follow-up anyway. So
right. Okay, so NiTe and Dan taking that first game in a fairly convincing fashion. Oh, man, 32%.
2.
That's gross.
Dude.
And again. Oh.
Yeah. That's all I can say to that, man. All I gotta do is just shake my head when I see stuff like that. I mean, it's just like, what can you do with Mario?
And that was with no rage, too. He was just that high up.
Okay, we're getting back into it, man, on Battlefield again. Why do you think they wanted to stay at Battlefield? Is it because, you know, maybe they all get a lot off of the platforms here? Or what
I suppose. But I still feel like Rosa and Mario definitely benefit more from that. They are the jungle-based ones here. Whereas, of course, Diddy Kong and Villager, a little bit more control-based. And this might be the set that we see that Toon Link come out and pull off some clutch stuff for MJG, because Villager versus Rosalina seems like a pretty tough matchup.
I would think so.
Half of your moveset just being invalidated and also just getting outranged at every turn.
Yeah, I'm definitely seeing more follow-ups from the red team, and the synergy's looking a bit more crisp. Not to say that the green team hasn't been on fire these last 2 days. Their synergy has been pretty A1 as well, too. But I think the GGA boys have the slight advantage on them.
Yeah, I'd say it's a little bit more than slight, man. This is like a couple years or like a year plus in the making of teamwork versus, hey, we're both really good. We should team.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
And it's not like Dan and NiTe are that much worse in singles than these two. They're still very much hot on their trail. Oh, a little accidental friendly fire banana pull.
And Zinoto doesn't really have a static teammate, does he? In Michigan, it's just kind of like whoever is there. Like sometimes it could be Rayquaza, it can be Ryuga, it could just be really anybody out there in our region, right?
Yeah, I don't believe he has a static partner, but I'm pretty sure Rayquaza is definitely not among them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think.
It's been a while.
Yeah. Okay, Dan rolling into the edge, trying to get that scummy back throw. But MJG not going to stand up into it. Meanwhile, Zinoto trying to take out NiTe on the other side of the stage. Green team looking a little bit better here. They did get the first stock, but again, this is not a sprinting contest. It's definitely a long distance run.
Yeah.
It was like a 5K, especially with the best of 5.
Okay, nice up air right there, man. I was expecting to see a couple more of those, but I didn't keep in mind that, you know, Zinoto has a lot of, oh my goodness, damage on his behalf, and just now losing his first stock, man, a little under 2 minutes. That
was just such a beautiful setup by Dan. Did the empty short hop fake out in their face, the classic tomahawk. Landed right behind Zinoto, picked him up with the back throw hitbox, slams MJG away. It would have been sick to see NiTe follow that up into a kill. But either way, it's looking like the green team is starting to pull ahead even further in this match. NiTe really bloody on that second stock. I don't think we're going to see him live much longer. Meanwhile, MJG is just sitting in the corner, throwing his things, but it's actually MJG that dies first. So.
Absolutely, and I'm actually really surprised that NiTe has lived this long. I mean, he's at 120%, but he's also the lightest character on the screen.
Yeah, by a noticeable margin, too. Everyone else is just kind of in that mid-weight range.
He's like, pretty sure Rose is like top 5 lightest in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's top 5.
Did you see that? No. What was that?
I don't even. What the?
He kept riding the rocket, and, like, he didn't go anywhere. I feel like maybe the banana was in the way or something. That was so weird.
I think he was trying to avoid the banana at all costs, because if he would have got off, there would have been a possibility that he slipped, and then, of course, it would have been a big punish. But then that.
What I'm saying is, like, the banana was here, and he was just like.
Yeah, like.
He wasn't moving. He was on it. Okay.
I was like, is he trying to avoid it, or is he's not able to fly over it? What's happening with that?
Yeah, no, you can't even aim, though, when you're on the rocket.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We're going to have to have a little instant replay look at that or something after the game.
MJG pushing the villager meta, that's for sure.
Yeah. All right.
Okay,
throws Rosalina off stage.
Oh, here comes the Nares. Okay, yeah, I really like what they're doing here. They're really trying to force Rosie off stage, because they know sometimes she has an issue recovering, especially on stages like this that have cracks and crevices, right by the ledge. So,
yeah, especially that left side of Battlefield is extra janky.
Yeah.
And the GGA boys, man, they're clinging to life here. Dan still at 175. If we could see some crazy rage stuff, you know, an up smash would definitely kill Zinoto right now, and a couple more % would take care of MJG. But, yeah, he's going to dive to that slingshot.
He's very good at landing those, man. He's pretty much racked up half of his damage from those forward airs and back airs.
Up throw, what are you going to do? Oh, Dan, not able to complete the stock there.
He wanted that up special bad, though. You know, you can see it in his eyes.
Definitely not any guarantee on an up throw to up B. But still, it was a great attempt either way.
And I really like how Zinoto's also been keeping his footing on stage, too. He's not really going for any off-stage shenanigans. The only time I think he would really go off is if Villager needed help, which is, like, rarely ever.
Yeah, Villager can pretty much always get back on her own. Meanwhile, NiTe is real close to going out of here. If they could take care of MJG, maybe Gimp Zinoto, they've got a shot.
Yeah, and how often does Chicago have to deal with Villager just in general? Like, I know they're pretty familiar with Diddy Kong. I mean, it's the Midwest. I mean, we've got a lot of Diddies here, like we said, but how often do they deal with, you know, Villager until MJG comes in town? I don't think very often.
I can't recall any Villager players that I've encountered in my travels to Chicago, or my travel one time, and now 1.5. But MJG, man, if there was a Villager in the Midwest, it's this guy.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh, and Skilliger, of course, but that's definitely far away.
Yeah, and that was funny that you bring that up. Is Skilliger and MJG actually they play quite a bit. You know, anytime we go to Kansas, sometimes they're guaranteed to have that Villager ditto. So, though I'm pretty sure MJG does have the set count on them, they come down to the wire every time. So, I just think MJG might have that experience. You know, he has a slight edge on him. Yeah, seasoned vet.
If you don't know how to fight Villager, this character definitely will knock you for a loop, man. Looks like they're going to stay. It's 1-1. First game was looking like, all right, maybe you should counterpick MJG. Maybe you should bust out that Toon Link. But now it's quite different. And on the same stage, too, they ran it back. So now we're going to get a little different flavor going to Final Destination.
Right off rips, man. NiTe just jumping right in and taking the late rocket from him. Might as well send the message early, man. Hey, man, you're not going to have too many of these this match. You screwed us up the last match with that, but I'm taking it. Yep, and we have another one. Another one. Right.
And, yeah, you definitely play yourself when you throw a projectile and Rosalina just absorbs it. It's like,
yeah, but Rosie also plays herself when Luma just gets sent out of the picture early on.
Okay, got a little passing back and forth with Diddy Kong and Villager's aerials, but unable to keep it going. Oh, the tree is half down, at least on the right side. Are we going to see that become a factor? No, not even going to see Villager live long enough to get back down to it.
Absolutely not, man. Now, one thing I really love about the tree is that a lot of times it can be used as a bait. You know, don't even watch the tree. What you really need to focus on is not getting hit with this axe.
And NiTe, again, with a brutal kill up air off the top, man. That's pretty much Rosalina's scariest thing in doubles, singles, any format. 8-player smash. You don't want to get hit by that.
Well, and no Magna Hands there from Dan. That was really strange. Now, I'm not saying that we need to have Magna Hands all the time, but I know Mario's are pretty pristine.
Yeah, he's got a huge edge grab distance, but NiTe, are you going to do it? No, I thought he was going to do the Double Dare 2000.
Dude, he was
Nick Games and Sports, yo. Nick Games and Esports.
Dude, I'm feeling pretty old now.
Okay, up air, nah.
Up B, man. Good air dodge right there. He just DI completely away from that.
I definitely thought NiTe was going to come in with the killing blow there, though.
Try to help out a bit.
Yeah, after such a strong start for Green Team, NiTe's 2 really early kills have really set the tone here. Staying alive, okay. Even Rosa with not that great of a DI input there, going to stay alive at 140.
Okay, and no real follow-ups here with the team steers. You know, there are points in times where the green team is kind of narrowing them back and forth and things like that, but for the most part, in terms of following each other up, I mean, they're kind of just throwing the opponents willy-nilly, and their teammates just not really there to kind of capitalize when needed.
Meanwhile,
the red team, yeah,
Dan and GGA.NiTe, exactly. They get that back throw. Oof, you're taking 30 probably. Or like at least an up air from the back throw.
And it's really strange actually because I feel like, you know, Villager has the tools in her arsenal. I say her because it's
right,
the girl,
yeah.
and she has the tools to keep team combos going. I mean, she can really just nair after anything and then just knock the opponent back. I mean, even like what we've seen at Genesis, where we've seen like nair into finishing touch. I mean, that is a pivotal, you know, tool in her asset.
It's one of the best team setup moves ever because it just covers her whole body, and it is a weak move, so it'll just pass you right back to your partner. Oh, Dan! Lucky to be alive there, slipping through the first hit of forward smash, not catching the second one.
Yeah, now that is something super rough about Diddy Kong. You know, he has some very strong smash attacks, up smash and forward smash are pretty much like his go-to moves after a banana gameplay,
right.
But there's always that slight chance that the opponent can fall out at high percents. And just right there, I mean, he charged it up all the way. He had the good read, but unfortunately, only the first hit landed. And I mean, that doesn't really do anything for you, man.
Right, and on the subject of pushing metagames, man, I think in 20XX of Smash 4, you smash the eye out of that Diddy forward smash, up smash, zero suit, up B, like all that stuff pretty reliably. So I would love to see more players really explore those options and try to avoid some pretty telegraphed kills, especially from Diddy Kong, who you know he's going to hit you with the banana. All right, like here comes that up smash. Let me start mashing some smash DI out.
Definitely, man. Now this right here is still very doable right now for the green team, and right as I say that, man, the red team loses another stock, and they're all down to their final stocks. Here we are having an even game.
Yeah, this is super close. Even though Zinoto is kind of getting battered. Oh, here comes a back throw. No, he realized the Knight was busy, so he just decided, all right, let me combo it myself. That's actually really smart. Like, don't always go for the team combo if you know it's not there, because then there's two teammates ready to attack your partner who wasn't ready for the follow-up. Absolutely
not. And Zinoto's going to have to watch how he throws that banana peel there. I mean, anytime he throws it too far away from Rosie's going to be there to try to snatch it from him.
Knight just rolling himself into the corner, runs up and blocks, but instead actually just going to get Luma killed. Of course, Luma cannot block, and that is one of the most abusable traits of this character.
Absolutely. Now, this is the time where they have to apply a lot of damage to Knight as quickly as possible. He's Luma-less. He's basically without his Smash Minato. They're going to have to put some sauce on him.
And definitely catching the back end of that down smash sauce right there. Zinoto grabbing the edge a second time. You never want to do that in this game, especially not against an opponent who's right at the edge ready for you.
Yeah.
I thought Dan was going to kill him with up B and end it, but maybe he was nervous that MJG would air dodge and kill him with up air or something. Oh, back throw should do it, but that's going to finish in style, of course.
Yeah, and Dan even threw the like slide jabber to make sure he stayed in it. Like,
right.
Dude, you have to get hit by this.
Right.
Dude, there is no getting out.
Okay. Red team taking another one. Zinoto and MJG, man, I don't know if they need to do like some character switching or just some general soul searching, figure things out.
This man says soul searching.
Figure it out on a spiritual level. You know?
Dude, you know what, man? It might be time for a kumbaya between those two. Because, I mean, you know, he's been hovering over Toon Link. I mean, every match, he takes his cursor off of Villager and then puts it right back. So I think he has somebody else in mind. We did mention he has a pocket. Wait, what are we doing here?
No, definitely a mistake.
Okay, yeah. He has a pocket Diddy, which we're probably not going to get double Diddy on the green team. But, you know, Toon Link is definitely a thing for him as well. So,
yeah, MJG, the master of unconventional characters that use a lot of projectiles.
Yeah.
Oh, and he was grasping his coffee there. I think maybe some cold hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am freezing, to be completely honest.
Yeah, it's nippy in here. All right, man, but it's even nippier in outer space, and I think we are going to Lilac Cruise. Okay,
yep.
We're here.
All right, from Smashville to space.
Yep.
We've got Villager coming all the way, not going to switch to Toon Link. And I don't know if this choice will pay off. We saw him go Toon Link, maybe to warm up, maybe for style points in that last set. And it was uncomfortably close, I think. The only time they got close to losing that set was when MJG went Toon Link. But, I would chalk that up to more of some nutty happenings during that game than MJG's Toon Link not being good enough. And it would be a shame to see him lose faith in that character just based on that, because Villager might not have been the optimal play.
Yeah. But you know what, though? Projectile characters kind of get bodied on this stage because they have to, deal with the tilt and the curvature of Lilac Cruise. Like, there's times where I've seen MJG throw, like, short hop forwarder, short hop backer, and it just totally just gets eaten by the stage. Same with Toon Link's bomb. So, I mean, there's just a couple things you have to factor in. Like, this stage is pretty much built for just, like, physical aggression sometimes.
Yeah, I feel like this might have been a little bit of a self-counter pick, considering how they're going to have to adjust the angles of their projectiles. But also, the Lloyd Rocket does a good job of kind of riding along the tilt.
True.
And doesn't get messed up by it too much. That said, I've definitely seen it explode prematurely by just running into the slant. So we'll see how it plays out. So far, very even start. Literally, Dan and JJ both at 129.
Yeah, MJG, though, kind of hanging out in the cut, man, only at 75%. He's kind of waiting to see if that back throw is going to kill or not, or if he should go up there and obviously try to finish off the stock. But, I mean, he's just dealing with a rough matchup here. Rosalina and Luma versus Villager, I mean, that's the one that's going to get under Villager's skin. Not to say that Mario doesn't either, but...
Yeah, 2 stocks evaporating right off the board in quick succession, though. And now we've got, again, really close fight, but Zinoto definitely closer to meeting his random death than NiTe is, although since Rose is so light, anything could happen right now. This could swing in either team's favor. Dan just has to stay alive as well. What? That hit from really far.
Right.
That was the tree, right?
Yeah.
He died to the tree, yeah.
Yeah, it has a huge box on it, man. It'll send you flying if you don't stand on your P's and Q's. Now, another thing I really like about this stage too is that Zinoto can down tilt the ledge very, very proficiently here, man, and really screw up Mario sometimes. Mario recovers too high. Oh my God.
Wow.
There it is.
NiTe already down to 1 stock.
So, you know, you've taken all my Lloyd Rockets, but you're not taking my bowling balls, man. Here.
Yeah, that was absolutely disgusting. You got to feel bad for NiTe, man. He was putting in that work, and then he just melted.
Yeah, man. Now they're in an unfortunate deficit here, man. 3 stocks to 4. MJG nowhere close to being killed, unfortunately. And I say that, though he's at 80%, it's just Villager, man.
Yep. Villager can stay alive pretty much forever if she doesn't want to put herself in the way of any kill moves. That phenomenal recovery and just general avoidance, projectile game, so many things going for this character in the realm of survivability. Wow, stolen, though. That stolen Lloyd Rocket actually hitting MJG away. Oh, and there we go. Zinoto closing out another stock.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, even in this thing back out here. Or no, actually not.
Taking a further lead.
Yeah, taking the further lead. Excuse me, man. Now we have Dan in an unfortunate 2v1 situation. Can Dan be the man to take 4 stocks?
I think we're going to see that game 5. And what a strange counter pick. Ending up working out for these guys. They didn't need a counter pick characters. So I don't know, man. I'm at a loss for reads into these guys' minds because I was thinking maybe these guys figured out how to fight Villager and MJG should switch, but no. Nothing of the sort.
Ooh.
That could have been nasty. Down tilt to forward smash.
Down tilt into anything, honestly, but I think he didn't want to get caught as the stage was like curving, so.
Definitely just curved that hitbox real quick.
Absolutely, man. It just walked right into a forward smash, but the fair right off the ledge of stage will do it. Zinoto will take that stock and end that match.
Yep. Down tilt fair, down tilt up smash, down tilt whatever the hell you want.
Down tilt, yeah. Imagination. Imagination.
Yes, exactly. SpongeBob combos. Okay. Game 5. It all comes down to this.
Where do you see them going for this match?
Probably a stage with 3 platforms, so Dreamland or Battlefield, just so they could get those super cheesy up air kills from a higher starting point. I would assume Dreamland because it doesn't have the high ceiling that Battlefield does.
Yeah.
But they might not also want to afford the green team that much space to work with because they just saw what happens. Well, I mean, Lilat's a small stage, so I don't know. I don't know. This really could go to any of the legal stages. I would just say probably not Duck Hunt because I think they're going to be looking for more of a fair fight here.
Yeah, don't let MJG go to Duck Hunt, man.
Oh, that too, yeah.
Yeah,
throwing
don't
bowling balls
let him
from
do
way
that.
up there.
Don't let him do that.
No.
Don't let him do that to you.
No. But then again, Rose on Duck Hunt is disgusting too.
Am I the only one that misses like the old stage listing before like we got like Dreamland, we had like Castle Siege and stuff? Like, am I the only one that misses that or no?
I definitely don't miss any of those silly stages
dude,
whatsoever.
what?
I wish there were only 3 legal stages: Battlefield, Smashville, FD. Keep the game nice and clean, nice and fair.
Dude, I wish that the 3DS version has the Yoshi stage from Brawl. I wish that the console version could have got that. Then we would have been in a better spot, you know, just way sooner. But whatever, though. We're here, though.
Always hated that stage anyway. I wanted 3 stages in Brawl too. So maybe I'm just a hater of creativity and fun or whatever. But
nah, man.
I like the honest stages. Let's put it that way.
Well, yeah, because you know you use the honest characters, you know, Cloud.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. I keep it real.
Right.
Anyway, we've got Dan and NiTe getting kind of beat up to start with, but of course it's way too early to call, especially with the early kill power of Luma's up air and Luma's everything.
Yeah, pretty much. It stays on the smaller side too, man. So if you got a character like MJG just shooting back airs and shooting forward airs at you, man, it can really make it hard for somebody like Mario, who has a very rough time getting in on you.
Wow, NiTe just dropping his shield, looking like he was about to go punish MJG, and then stopped and did nothing in his face. He still ended up getting the better of that situation, but I'm very surprised that he just froze up like that. Could have just been an input error, or could be genuine terror. It's like Game 5, we're playing on stream, so much at stake right now.
Oh, possibly, yeah.
And actually, I just looked up at the players, and I saw MJG and Zinoto talking to each other. I think that's a really good thing to do in teams. Like, converse with your partner, let them know what's going on, let them know if you need help. Wow, Dan almost spiking NiTe to his death, though.
Yeah, man, Dan has just been doing a very good job. Pretty much anybody who uses Mario today has been doing a good job of landing those spikes, but unfortunately ends up getting hit with the up tilt from Villager. That another very deceptively strong move in Villager's arsenal.
Okay, MJG trying to cheese Dan out with some falling Nair Gimps, but Mario's recovery way too solid for that. I really don't expect to see Dan fall for something like that, even with a lack of Villager experience.
Oh, definitely not.
But NiTe absolutely getting wrecked right now, almost down to his last stock already. And the GGA boys, man, I love the way they play. I would love to see them start shaping this up and make the game a little closer. But it looks like MJG and Zinoto are starting to pull ever so slightly ahead. And it's not really ever so slight anymore.
Yeah, absolutely not. MJG looking virtually untouchable here at only 22%. I know we mentioned earlier that the GGA boys do a very good job at adaptation, but it looks like here, man, they're starting to fall a little short. Aiden up smash, but
I don't know if he hit him with the up B or not, or if that was just the kill from the charge.
Well, he had Luma, so I think that might have just been a kill from the charge, but it would have been hype. But unfortunately, Luma finds herself getting killed by the tree, and then Rosie finds herself eating. Goodness gracious, a bowling ball.
I actually didn't hear the up B connect, so that's what makes me think it was just the raw up smash. Oh, and MGG with a middle of the stage back throw kill. That is just so strong from Villager. And it's looking like the green team is pulling ahead once again.
Yeah,
but
they are.
You can see the X factor on this red team, namely Luma.
Luma's been pretty much all over the place, unfortunately, in all the spots where she doesn't need to be.
Right.
It just unfortunately just keeps getting killed very, very early on, leaving, you know, Rosie without her biggest kill tool.
You can see the red team is shooting to kill, man. They're trying to go for the killing blows. No more of this little piecemeal chipping away, all that stuff. They're just really trying to get the kill moves. And all MGG kind of in a bad spot, but wow, breaks out of a grab at 120 after 2 pummels. That's pretty fast mashing.
That it is.
Consider me impressed. I think he knows. The GGA boys just have these grab release combos on deck. Oh, and Dan failing to punish after Zinoto was throwing NiTe. You got to make sure anytime they hit your partner that they're going to regret it.
Yeah, and speaking of grab release, anything, I mean, NiTe and with Rosalina.
There we go. There goes Zinoto.
Yeah.
They just need to take care of MJG. There it is. 2v1 situation. What do we have? Oh my God, that was almost the comeback of the century, but this is still in the works.
Absolutely, man. The anxiety is real right now. Zinoto playing on fire and out of his mind, though, but he has to get between Rosie and Luma to try to do any significant damage here.
And he still has to get a banana out now that it disappeared. It's looking like he's going to try to do it without one. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
NiTe and Dan.
The team synergy right now from NiTe and Dan is definitely starting to pay off here.
He could have just killed him right there, but instead he lets him retreat to the platform, gets a banana, and that could spell trouble for these guys. Oh, faced the wrong way. Could have had a shield grab.
Okay, jabbing him, keeping him off the stage here. Oh, but you have to factor in Luma. Luma can kill you right now. Good up smash right there. Big damage put on. 95% we're living. Oh, but misses the grab for the banana peel.
And we've got quite a crowd developing over here. Oh, very safe by Zinoto. Running off the... Oh, that's going to do it.
And flips right into the banana peel.
Wow, and the home crowd goes
Up
wild.
smash. Very unfortunate, yeah. The crowd is all over the place.
Wow, we went from having like 6 people in the audience because it was so early to now like that seating area is pretty much filled.
Yeah, I hope they save some spots for me, man. Well, first I'm going to go unthaw first, and then I'm going to have to sit
right?
back in here later.
Yeah, I'm going to go in the sun.
Yeah.